And we are now live running the LRC from Bombardier with the LRC coaches. Haven't had this entire training assembled in I think quite a while, so I figured why don't we get it out there, just have something, and at least one of the cars still lights up. But anyway, there's that. Not a whole lot has changed on the layout that I can think of recently, but I have some plans, I think, particularly getting back to this. Anyway, some people are joining in here. We've got NJ Transit 4600 Productions, Joseph Batts, Theo Locke, Rio Does Things 19, SP Productions, HONN Scale Rail Fanning, NS8114, Wawa Mainline, Fazbear 07 Roblox and more, Shocks Trains, Blake's Trains and Trucks, Super Chief 88, Mario Fernandez, Louis Bandito. I don't think I'm pronouncing that one right. James and Jams, hello. Daylight NW Productions, Rocky Fantastic 68, hello. Via Rail F40PH2D, hello from Minnesota. Oh, I got a Via Rail fan who's from Minnesota. That's interesting. Ryan Farwell, hello. The Gillian Group, can you run a Tyco Brass Loco? A Tyco Brass Loco? I'm not aware that any exist. Bien Brett, thanks for stopping by. Have you played Train Sim World? I have not played that before. I used to have Railworks back in the day, but I haven't played that for quite a long time. Thunder Bine 88, hello from Melbourne, Australia. Oh, I got somebody from Australia. That's cool. Cold Melson 2, hello. Jen, hello. East Coast Trains, have you heard of the new CN Heritage units? Yes, I've seen photos of them. I think it's cool CN's finally adding some Heritage units to their roster. Hey, SMT on my break, I thought I would check, see how you're doing. Well, welcome, Ellery Parsons. Frostbite. SMT, did you know there is a Via Rail locomotive in Grand Canyon Railway scrapyard? I was not aware of that. You pronounced half my name wrong. It's Fanatic, not Fantastic, reading from Chicago's. Plus, can you run the Hiawatha on a short freight? Yeah, we can do that. Let me go find it. I think, actually, I do have it up on the shelf where it's supposed to be. Also, I said in the beginning of the stream I haven't made any major changes. It's mostly true, but I did make the sign kind of recently, so that'd be fun. GFW Trains, how are you? Or I guess you guys might be more appropriate since usually when I join it's a father-son operation. SMT, did you know the Brunswick GG1 you have, I got from eBay, has 2 motors? I have the same one. I'm not entirely sure. I've never opened it. I don't know. Maybe. Sometimes some engines have the capacity for 2 engines, like my Canadian whatever you want to call it there, which is a DD40 or DD35 as most people have told me. That thing actually has capacity for 2 Athens motors, but only one was put in it. So sometimes just because an engine has capacity, it might not have to, but it could. I don't know. It's kind of either way. The Haunted Coachman, hello from the UK. Welcome. Super Chief 88, hello from Chicago. Do you have G-Scale? I don't currently have any G-Scale. Just your average Joe boy, welcome to the stream. Can you run the Centennial? Yes, we can run that. We're going to run the Hiawatha first, though. So I'm just going to get the LRC off the main line, and then we're going to hook up those freight cars as requested. Impressive layout, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe not the most realistic layout out there, but yeah, hobby's about having fun, and I've certainly had a lot of fun building this and operating it, so that's really all that matters in my books. Anyway, let's get the Hiawatha on. It's kind kind of like this engine's great-grandfather. I have a question. Is the Digitrack Zephyr the only DCC equipment you have, or do you have anything else? The Digitrack Zephyr is the only DCC controller I have. I used to use the Bachmann Easy Command system, which I'll give Bachmann credit. They actually, I think, did a pretty good job with that, but it's honestly starting to, I find, bottleneck a lot of things I was trying to do. So I was pretty happy to add this thing on. It's not terribly user-friendly, I would say. It took a bit of time for me to figure this one out, and I still don't know how to do everything on it, but there is a lot of options, so I do like that. Maddie, your trains explanation and more. Can you run a Canadian National locomotive? I don't see why not. We'll get this one going. We'll follow that up with Centennial, and then we'll put something CN on. Can you do a shunting challenge with any of your small tank engines? I wish I could. The freight yard's actually not currently put together, so I have to finish that before I can begin any operations. But my guess would be that when the weather really starts getting cold outside, I'm probably going to finish this and get working on Hershey again. I have the GG1 from eBay, and I opened it. It has 2 motors, not just capacity for 2. Yeah, but, I mean, yours might have 2, but mine might not. I don't know. I haven't opened it. Love your content. Me and my grandpa started our own layout recently. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Can you run the runaway train? I don't see why not. SMT, there's a... Okay, I've already read that one. Can you run a Canadian National steam train with the go-cars? Probably so. Somebody already requested for something Canadian National to be run, so I'm sure we could probably... Well, we'll just do both, I guess, really. The Hiawatha is like the wise old one of all the engines. Yeah, in a lot of ways it is. It's obviously probably one of the oldest engines in my collection. Certainly, I think the oldest running model I have. But it's also just been here because I got this engine in 2008. So I hadn't even been in the hobby for very long. So even as far as all of my engines go, this one's still fairly early on. And how long I've had it for. I watched your videos on how to fix a locomotive. I fixed a lot of my trains. Thank you, though. Oh, that's cool. What streaming software do you use? I just used YouTube's app. SMT, did your Bachmann DD40AX have sound? It does not. It is a DCC model, but I don't know. I think I got that thing in 2009 or 2010, so... I've had it for a while, and I'm pretty sure my parents got it for me as a gift. They bought it off eBay, and I'm pretty sure it was in used condition. So I don't know when this was made. Likely sometime around the mid-2000s, maybe, I don't know, 2007 or something like that. So I don't even know if Bachmann was stocking... They might have been... they might have had sound value by then. I don't really know. I'm under the impression that came later, though. What starter set would you suggest? Honestly, if I were getting into the hobby today, I'm not the biggest fan of Bachmann, but they're the only one that still makes relatively budget train sets. I would just either, if there's a set you want that has an engine or something you like, pick that one. But other than that, if you're just looking for something to just get you started, just buy the cheapest one you can find on the net or wherever else, and just go with that. I wouldn't buy one of their more, because they've got some pretty grand train sets. I would suggest avoiding those. Buy a cheap one, and then just use the money you've saved to buy a bunch of things to add to it. And if you're wondering what kind of, like, if I were getting into the hobby today, I wasn't building a layout right off the bat. What I would do, I'd buy the cheapest Bachmann train set I can find for whatever, like $100 or cheaper. And then Of course, this assumed if I was starting today but had the knowledge I didn't have then, but I have now, I would try to go to my hobby shop and try to find a bunch of old blue box engines to go with it. They're pretty easy to identify, and you can buy them pretty dirt cheap. Let me see if I can find one. I've got a ton of them. Here's one. You can see that's a blue box right there. They have these 4 dots. These are the motor mounts. And you can buy those engines usually for 20, 30 bucks at most hobby shops. At train shows you can get them even cheaper, but they're really reliable and you can buy them super cheap. So if I was getting the hobby, I'd buy the cheapest train set, buy a few of those engines so you got a little bit more to run. And if you got some money left over, heck, buy whatever you want. But I feel like that gives you a pretty good place to start. Run the River Rossi Blue Goose. I need to tune that engine a little bit more. The GG1 was a high quality train set that cost over 2. Anyway, I think we're gonna swap this one out, put the Centennial on. SMT should try to find Canadian National's new heritage units. You mean as models or as... It must be in real life. I don't know. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of tracks around Ottawa anymore that are still super active. Walkley Yards, which is Ottawa's only freight yard, is still active, and it is owned by Canadian National, but it's hanging on by a thread. My goodness, I don't think it might not be around for much longer. There's just not a lot of industry, so the odds of one of those things coming up, I think my best chance would probably be one might come through Smith Falls, Ontario, which is the same spot where I actually saw heritage unit from Canadian Pacific. But even that's Canadian Pacific, so I don't know how much CN would be operating on there. I really don't know. It would be fun, though. Anyway, we're going to get this one going here. All right. Quickly stop. Imagine running the DD40X as a street runner. Technically, it could. I don't know if it would stay on the track very well, but yeah. SMT, is your goal to get 500 people watching? Well, that would be pretty cool, but I don't know. I haven't really ever set any goals for getting people in a live stream. I sort of just start these things whenever people join in, and just all have try to have a nice good time, so... Do you have any HO scale trains? Yes. The GG1 was in a high quality train set that cost me over $1,000 brand new, and the description of the set said it has 2 motors, pantographs that can take power. It must have been a pretty deluxe set. Did somebody just really ask if he has any HO scale? Nah, I'm dreaming. Oh, the comments. Okay, I've already read that comment. I'm gonna see too. It looks like we got a super chat. Let's see who that's from. Roan Bear. I hope I'm pronouncing your name. Hi, Scrumptious. Thanks for doing a live stream. Oh, you're welcome. I assume you're an older viewer. Judging by most newer viewers, it's SMT. The older ones, it's Scrump or something like that, because it used to be Scrumptious Model Trains. Where's the super chat? I just clicked this. I have this thing. I can click it, and it basically shows all the super chats, and that's where it was. I remember when you're at 8K subscribers. Now look where you are at 2K. I'm not at 20K yet. It's getting kind of close, which I'm pretty amazed by, but yeah, it's been quite remarkable lately. Quite surprised, but sure happy about it. Sammy Trains and Ships, hello. Oh, go Veer, go home. How are you doing? 18.8. Yep. Can you get a Christmas train? I was looking. Bachmann actually has some really cheap Christmas train sets. They're not HO scale, but they run on an HO scale track. I didn't even say what scale they were, but they're going for $70, which for a train set with track and everything, that actually seems like a pretty good deal. So I'm kind of tempted to buy one just to fool around with it. I don't know. We can just get it and do some sort of Christmas thing. Maybe I'll give one away. That could be our Christmas contest. Who knows? I'll try to think of something. Go Veer, go home. Seen better days. How have you been? I've been pretty good. I'm sorry to hear that though. Each Halloween, the Great Pumpkin Train rises out of Dunderville Pumpkin Patch and gives toys to all the good little engines. I think that's a reference to the Halloween Charlie Brown episode, but I never really watched that, so I'm just speculating. Giveaway at 20K, possibly so. I'm not entirely sure. I for sure want to do the Christmas contest again. That was really good, and I had a lot of fun, and I think a lot of other people did too. There have been a lot of people asking about it at least, so that's what I hope. I'm not so sure what to do for a giveaway though. The last giveaway was actually met with a lot of interesting reactions, let's just say. So I do want to do something, but I'm not sure if I want to do something a bit different this time. Can you run some Southern Pacific diesels and cars, SMT? Yeah, probably. It was requested for a Canadian National steam engine though, so we'll run that first. Bachman has an HO scale Christmas 060 train set. Yeah, it wasn't, the set I'm looking at though, it's not actually being sold under Bachman. I think it's being sold under Hawthorne Village, which I believe is a division of Bachman. Kind of more targeted for the general public. But yeah, I was looking at these train sets. I mean, I don't know what the shipping is, but they were pretty cheap. So I was like, and they show they say they run on HO scale track, and they show HO scale track, which is Bachman Easy Track, and Bachman controllers. So that's all good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's something I'm missing here. It seems kind of odd, honestly, but it's sort of tempting. to order one of those up. Hey, SMT, I'm going up to Reading to catch F units on Halloween. That's fun. You run an N-scale train. Possibly so. I don't think any of that's connected. It's sort of a mess right now, really. Now, Canadian National. I think we'll just put the number 6060 on. Pretty steady engine. I'd love to enter the Christmas contest, whatever it is. Yeah, the Christmas contest last year, basically, bought a Locomotive and announced a contest. And the thing is, everybody, everyone, it was a Christmas display contest. So everybody was making all sorts of Christmas displays. Some people do every year, and it was a lot of fun. And some of the displays, it was just so much fun getting to go through all of those. And then everybody got to vote. Somebody won, and I shipped the train off to them. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun, you know. And it was great too, because of course, since people voted, everybody got to see each other's Christmas displays and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, it was just a really fun event. Can you run the British engine with British cars? I don't think I have any. Well, I've got those 2 British cars, although I haven't taken them out yet. These are cool. This engine's great. Just got back from one of SMT's favorite restaurants, Coney Island. Coney Island's a great restaurant. I was so impressed with that place. Wow. A fish bait. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Hola from Chris and Dom. Welcome to the live stream. By the way, that KFC you sent in that box of other stuff now has a spot on the layout. So thank you very much for sending that. Also, I might try to fix up that Mahano engine soon. I've got a fair amount of restorations at the moment. Got one box right there, 2 engines that need to be repaired. And then over here, this is sort of like where I've been storing all the client restorations because I don't want them to get mixed in with everything else. Got this one fixed the other day. This one fixed yesterday. This might be the next one, although in comparison, I thought the lifelike was pretty trashed, but that's about all that's left of this one, so that will be interesting. And then in this box, we got another lifelike, which is pretty much just as trashed as the last one, so yeah, there should be some interesting restorations on their way. You know, SMT, it seems every time you finish a live stream, another one starts. It's like a never-ending stream. I don't know. I haven't done a live stream in a while, actually, but I try. It's fun. SMT, have you ever been to Stratford Railroad? I live 20 minutes away from it. I haven't been there, but it's a very common subject, it seems. I'm going to have to visit it someday. A lot of people talk about Stratford. Alexander DeCole, my birthday's on Friday. Well, in advance, happy birthday. Can you run the brass steamer? Yeah, sure. Anyway, there was probably something in particular we're supposed to run. There's the brass steamer. Also, I'll run the British locomotive. I don't think I'll take those cars out, but I'll at least get the British engine going around there. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this little member off the main line. Did you hear about the Canadian National Heritage Units? I have. A few people have been talking about that this evening. Hey, SMT, I just got a new Bachmann locomotive for $3. It's old, and when it runs, it smells like old oil. Do you know what's wrong with it? Yeah, so if it's an old Bachmann, it's probably one of the Kadar drives, which are the ones that have the pancake motors in them. The thing about these drive systems is that the way the bearing is positioned, if people put oil on the bearings, it can actually fly off onto the commutator and burn. So I find sometimes I'll hear about people describing the way some of their engines smell as similar to like garlic bread and stuff like that, and that's because there's hot oil burning. Now the solution is just to open it up and get rid of the oil. This isn't actually a Bachmann drive, but it's practically identical. So this bearing here, when you put oil on there, it sprays out onto here and it burns. So that's where the smell is coming from. It's there. So if you clean that up really well, get all the oil out, and you don't even really have to lubricate this one bearing. It's not really a big source of friction. It should get rid of the smell. But the thing is, too, these are old engines. They're not going to run perfectly, so it kind of comes with the territory. I've got tons of engines that have funny smells to them when they start running, especially some of them which are super inefficient and get hot. Those ones tend to have a pretty strong kind of ozone smell. Now, where's that British engine at? How do you feel with Athens making a buttload of CSX and Amtrak engines? I don't know. I really don't know a whole lot about modern Athens. I'm a very big fan of their older stuff, but one thing I have heard from other people in the model railroading community is that they're not a terribly innovative company. They seem to re-release a lot of models that they've been making for years with really minimal additional details. So, yeah, I don't know. They're maybe not the most original company out there. I will say, though, if you want a reliable engine, buy an old Athens. They won't fail. I got a lifelike F40 NJ Transit engine today for $3 from Cape Cod after some TLC. I got it back to decent operating conditions. Yeah, that's great. That's the thing about the lifelikes. They're so simple. They're not great quality engines, but they're so simple that it usually doesn't take too much to get them back. I mean, even that trashed one the other day, like, after I did the restoration and actually got it running, it was running fine. So, I don't know. I don't think they're as bad as some people seem to think they are. Kato is way better than Bachmann. I'd agree with that. I mean, to be fair, most Kato engines cost more than Bachmann engines, but not by a long shot. And I'll tell you, the Kato engines definitely, at least in my books, have a better track record for being reliable. What happened to the CNO fire starter? It's funny you say. Nothing's happened to it. It sort of just sat on a shelf. I plan to eventually buy it some neodymium magnets, which will improve the motor. And then once I get that, I don't really have to worry as much about it having another episode. But it's good. I also ordered a lot off of eBay of a variety of engines, so hopefully those will arrive. But they're, I think some of them are similar era to that, so I'm going to be kind of excited to see those. Kato is worth the money. I'd say I agree. I don't have a crazy amount of their stuff, but everything I've worked with from Kato, I've been impressed with. I think they make pretty good products, and there's a lot of people in the community that are big Kato fans, and I don't know. I don't hear too many people complaining about them, so they must be doing something right. I like vintage lifelike, especially, yeah, second generation lifelike. That's gold lifelike. Anyway, we're now going to run the MDC brass engine. I couldn't stop laughing about this. It's a funny joke, but there's a member of the community named Rail Rider Ravy. And anyway, the other day, when I uploaded the lifelike video, of course, lifelike towards the end in the late 90s and early 2000s, they needed to diversify their products, basically, because they had, there were more kind of serious modelers in the hobby and less of the, youngsters that used to pretty much own the market. So they made Proto. And there was Proto 1000 and 2000, two different grades of lifelike, and then there was conventional lifelike. So anyway, when I did the video and I was talking about the second generation lifelikes, he commented and he said, I guess this must be a lifelike 500 or Proto 500. I can't remember which he said, but I just thought that was priceless. Good evening, Harrison, Chippewa Northern, checking in from Florida. Welcome. Hey, SMT, my engines are sparking from being too old. Is there any way to fix that? Cleaning the wheels and stuff like that can help. Also, checking to make sure there's no short circuits. Shorts will make a lot of sparks. But there's some older engines, they throw a lot of sparks. And the big thing is that a lot of older engines have steel wheels, and that's just kind of part of engines with steel wheels, is they just throw a lot of sparks. If it's an old Athens, you can actually upgrade the wheels and you can get nice nickel silver wheels, which won't do that. But unfortunately, most other brands you can't really buy replacements for, and it's kind of like either you just run them as they are or you don't run them. Run away. Yes, that's right. Let's get that going. Hoping that I get my model trains for my birthday because I want to get into the hobby. What are some good tips? Do you have to lubricate your locos? Okay, I'll try to answer those questions. Good tips. I'd say my biggest tip for people, especially getting into the hobby, is that you're willing to take advice from people. If there are tons of really experienced model railroaders, and they will usually be very willing to dole out advice, which is very good. It's very generous of them. But my advice on that advice would be, don't let anybody else's opinions take you away from what you truly want out of the hobby. I've said this a million times before. The hobby's about having fun, and just as long as you're doing it right. Because there's some people that are going to tell you that you need to pick, a time, an era, steam or diesel, etc., etc., etc. And if you really care about that stuff, go right ahead. But if you really don't, I would stay away from it, because frankly, it will just bog you down and make the hobby less fun. So that's my piece of advice. Now, to answer your question about having to lubricate engines, if you're buying brand new engines, you should lubricate them every so often. They're going to last longer and run better. But generally, the engines that really need oil are the old ones, because the old ones, they've got, first of all, their parts are more worn. They've got a lot of metal parts. But brand new parts in an engine don't wear as much. They're very slick and smooth, so there's not as much friction. And they're also new, so their lubricants are all new. So if you're buying brand new engines, you're not going to have to worry about that, I would say, for a while. Maybe even years. Oh, got another super chat. Let's have a look at that. Christian K 2008. Hey SMT, I've been looking forward to your streams this week. Disappointed I missed part of it, but I'm happy to be here. Well, welcome to the live stream. Glad you were able to make it. Can you run your Lionel trains? Not at the moment. I took apart part of the track so people could gain access to some shelves. So it's sort of down. Hey SMT, how do I get a live stream on YouTube? There are a variety of ways to do it. If your channel's under 1,000 subscribers, you can do live streams, but you have to do them through a computer or third-party app. But there are tons of tutorials online on how to begin a live stream and all the rest of it. SMT, do any of your O-scale steamers smoke? I'm not sure about the Scout, the bigger model. It has a smoke unit, but I disabled it just to make it a little bit more energy efficient. I don't have any smoke fluid anyway. Can you run a Canadian National? Yeah, sure. I was just wondering if you've got around to looking at my engine yet. Northlander dude, I think I saw you in the comments yesterday. If you're referring to the, I don't know which engine you're referring to, but, of course I fixed this one the other day. I fixed this one yesterday, and I intend to try to fix this one in the next few days if I can. I believe these are your engines, so I hopefully that will answer your question. If it's one of the other ones, I haven't got around to it yet, but, there's a lot of them. I have to start shipping some of those back soon. Run the big boy. Yeah, we can run that. The Atlas drive with the Northlander logo. Atlas drive with the Northlander logo. The only engines I have at the moment... The only engines I have at the moment are all of these ones right here. The only Northlander one I can think of is this one. I haven't opened it up yet. Northlander logo on the box. Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, I still have to crack that one open and have a look at it. Can you run the big boy with the DD40? Yeah, heck, why not? They seem to work fine together. That's the one. All right, well, I'll try to get around to that one fairly soon. I hate how people kick you out of the club because you don't have the correct coupler. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of regulations. The coupler ones I kind of get because if everybody was using different stuff, it could be a pain in the neck for people wanting to run a layout altogether, but I really didn't see what the big deal was in my case because I wasn't really trying to operate with anybody else's trains. In fact, there were... should have just... I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have said this because I was too new there. But the truth is, that guy really had no business telling us off because there were higher-up members in the club who saw this thing going around and they didn't really care, so... kind of nonsense. Thanks SMT for all the videos because I managed to get an old Rivarossi C16 locomotive back up and running. I'm very happy to hear that. Obviously, the videos I make are not necessarily tutorials, but as I, take stuff apart and fix it, I do try to share any bits of knowledge people can use, so it's really nice to hear when people actually get stuff of theirs running as a result of finding out something in one of the videos. Anyway, we're now going to run a combination of this and the big boy, which should be fun. Did you find your train made from parts and can you run it? I have not seen that one for a while. So there's that. And the rest of the equation. Run with the daylight coaches. I don't see why not. I guess that would work. It's going to make a pretty bizarre train, but was realism ever a target on this channel? Okay. C'est bon. Yeah, it will be fine. Yeah, it's about the quote of the channel. Let's get those out there. I think I'm missing a couple. No ideas where those might be. Horn hooks do not let go easily sometimes. Is the DD40X a Bachmann? Also, where did you get it? It is a Bachmann. It was from eBay. About, I don't know, over a decade ago. Do you plan on making a shunting yard? I plan on getting the freight yard going at some point. Remember the voice chat last week? It was as cursed as the Acela. Also, can you please run the bullet train on the other side of the layout? The bullet train. I wonder if I could handle that layout. Yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, I do remember the Discord voice chat with everybody on there. Those can be interesting sometimes. It's kind of funny, though. Yes, I can relate. My horn hooks always break off because they always get stuck. Is the big boy not starting? Oh. I guess it's running. That was kind of weird. Just need to find one more. I feel like we need that last car. That's the one I wanted. It needs to steam up. Of course, I forgot. We need to heat up the box. It's not like a diesel. You can't just fire it up. How daft. Still, something seems a bit jacked there. Let's have another look at that. It's a very nice steam engine. It is also a Rivarossi, though, so, this is kind of wacko. Alright, everyone just cross your fingers. I'm sure it will work fine. Both these engines worked fine in the past together, so it'd be sort of weird if they all of a sudden started not to, but who knows? Yeah, what a train. Should really be over here, rail fanning it. Yes, there we are. Like one rail fan. How are you? I'm well. How are you? Kristen K. Interesting. John McDonald's. Hello everyone, good day, welcome. SMT, do you have any CSX locomotives? Yes, got at least one. My nut couplers always slap when I do DPUs with my F units because it's slower than my BNSF GP40, so I get the feeling. Your videos help me a lot. Tyco Manual, Royal Blue, not moving to basically a rocket. Wow, that's great. Yeah, Tycos are quite a common scene on this channel, mainly because they're not terribly reliable, unfortunately, but yeah, they're fun to work on, and glad other people... There are some people that are really attached to their Tycos. I get it. They had one when they were kids and stuff, and they were cool. They made all sorts of really interesting trains, so it's great. When somebody has one that's really sentimental to them, they can keep it running. Hey SMT, I was thinking when I finally get to 500, I'm going to do a giveaway live. That'd be cool, Dodger. Hey SMT, are you excited about the CN Heritage units? Yes, I am. Virtual Rail fan wishes his streams were this interesting. Virtual Rail fan wishes his streams were this interesting. Yeah. I'm sure the ones where derailments and accidents happen probably exceed the entertainment value, but at least my comment section's not overly regulated. Can you restore the tank engine you got from buying shady model trains off of Etsy? Well, after I did that video, somebody contacted me asking if they could basically get some specifications because they said that they were a dealer of those parts. So I gave them the specifications, and they emailed me back saying they were going to ship one out, and I never got one. I mean, it was awfully nice of somebody to do that, but I don't know if that's their intentions or something. I don't know. But I'll wait a while. If nothing arrives in the mail, though, I'll just probably try to source out some random part and put that there. Your videos have got me hooked on model trains. That's great. What's the cheapest running engine you've ever bought? That would be a I think it's it's an old AHM engine. There's the little devil. Here it is. I actually managed to pick this thing up for it was $3 at an antique store. I didn't know why it was going so cheap, but I didn't really have to do anything. I cleaned the wheels, but I wouldn't consider that really fixing it. And it did run before that, just not very well. But yeah, really all I've done is clean the wheels. Actually, I shouldn't say that. A few days ago, I actually did give this thing the works. I gave it some fresh oil and cleaned all the internal parts, which it actually runs way better now. But it was running fine before I did that, so... Cheapest running engine I think I've ever got. Hey SMT, could you show us your entire HOO and N-scale collections? I can give you a brief tour. So here are all of my O-scale things. We got a demi engine and a regular F unit. This steam engine, that's all the O-scale engines. Got a variety of N-scale engines, which you can see for yourself. Got a few there too, and one there now. And as for HO, all of this, and this entire lot right here, here are all my steam engines, variety of different diesels, more diesels, my Talent. Down here is mostly old Tyco stuff, and there's a variety of other stuff. So that's a brief idea of my collection. And then these engines are all for restore. So SMT Virtual Railfan is fun, but damn, they're mean and hate every Railfan channel but themselves. I don't like to call them a Railfan channel because Railfans are nice to each other. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people really enjoy watching Virtual Railfan, and I get it. It's kind of, I don't know, funny. I'll get to wait and watch a train go by, but I haven't watched them in probably over a year or something like that. And to be completely honest, when I was joining in there, I found that they were very strict. They had chat open, but you really couldn't talk about a whole lot. You couldn't, if a car drove by and somebody said, "Oh, that's a nice looking truck," that was considered like a banned comment. And they had all sorts of other interesting rules about how you can't use the word forward because it's offensive and all this other nonsense. I'm just like, oh my goodness, why do you even have the chat open? Like, this is ridiculous. So, I don't know. I didn't find there was a whole lot to do when there weren't any trains actually going by. CR to Hobo. Howdy, Harrison. How's it going? I'm well. How are you? Hey, SMT, what's your opinion on the NYC J3A Dreyfus Hudson? And would you consider buying HO J3A? I quite like the Hudsons. I don't know a whole lot about them, but if I ever saw one at a good price, I'd buy it. They're really good-looking engines. I mean, they're so slick. SMT, guess who's back again? Sirens and Railroads of Oklahoma. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Anyway, I think we'll run something else. Hey, SMT, is an HO scale starter set good for starting off with train modeling? I would say so. I'm thinking about making a video of kind of different ways you can get into the hobby. I mean, you obviously don't have to start with a starter set, but honestly, just getting started off is, when you don't know what to look for, it can be a bit intimidating. So the nice thing about a starter set is that you just buy it and you have everything you need just to start running some trains, you know? So, I don't know. They're not bad things. Hey, SMT, I dare you to go to a virtual Railfan camera and say hi to the live comments. Oh, that would be so funny. I don't know where any virtual Railfan cameras are, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go out there with some signage or something. I don't know. There have been some interesting instances with people getting up to that kind of stuff, though. I don't know. Hey, SMT, do you still have your Bachmann 260 Alco locomotive? Yes, I do. So I'll get that off the main line and begin running something else. Doing just fine, especially since you're streaming. Well, thanks, I appreciate that. And if you're having trouble pronouncing my last name, just call me Charlie. All right. I got one of the Dreyfus Hudsons for $50. That's pretty good. And most River Aussies, if you can find them for about 50, kind of under $100, you're doing pretty well. The higher side would be if they're in good shape. We should go raid the virtual Railcam after this live stream and say anything we want and see what happens. See if we do it to the lap cam. I don't know. I think they've got automatic moderating in there, so it would probably stop it all. But yeah, I don't want to cause any trouble. Yeah. All aboard Amtrak, please. Oh, sure. I'm doing that. You know what? I want to see this thing pulling those cars. That would be cool. Looks like air tanks are popping off my darn bashed up Amtrak GE engine. This thing has definitely seen better days, but I'm pretty sure I only paid $20 for it back in like 2011, so it doesn't owe me a whole lot. Plus, it's a blue box, so it might look bad, but I highly doubt it's ever going to break on me. Probably as long as I'm in this hobby and own that engine, it's going to run. Nice. It moved like an inch and then... Oh, no, that's not its fault. It's because it's over the electric thing. Yes, there we go. That's more like it. Darn it. The coupler heights don't look that off. This one might need some tweaking. The BR steamer. Hi, can you run the big boy? Sure, probably. We did run it all that kind of recently, though. Yeah, this thing's got a junk coupler, but the engine's running. Yeah, we'll let it go around once. Rest in peace, coupling. Yeah, that thing is toast. It's not the quietest engine out there, but it's not running half bad. Now let's see what kind of low speed can we achieve with our $20 junked blue box engine. It's Team Blue Box, everyone. Very nice. Sounds like it's screaming when it runs. It's loud. I wouldn't consider it a screamer, though. I've got some old Bachmann engines that sound like that. I have an old blue box. Yeah, they're jolly engines. Look, you can buy one like this or like this. There are so many different body types and railroads you can get them under, and but at their core they're identical. What happened to Dodger Bend and Paris trains? I don't know. I haven't seen Paris's trains in a long time, but Dodger's still around. They were on this stream. I don't know if Dodger's still here, but definitely here earlier. Hey Harrison, quick question. Have you ever had an engine catch on fire? Not smoke, but like flames coming out of it. Not big ones, just any flames. What would you do? Sorry for repeating. I've never had an engine itself catch fire, like where there's actually been like a flame. There was one time a couple of years ago I was working on a motor out of a locomotive which was having some problems, and I was putting a lot of rubbing alcohol on the commutator to try to just get it kind of cleaning up. Sometimes that can bring them back to life. And I put a little bit too much, and one of the sparks actually ignited it, and the motor caught fire in my hand. It wasn't a very big fire, but it was burning. It wasn't a big deal, though. With a flame that size, you just blow on it, and it goes out. So, yeah, but that's been about it. That was kind of my fault. I mean, when you're adding a pretty combustible fluid to something generating a lot of sparks, you shouldn't really expect much different. Somebody might have wanted me to run this. I will run the big boy in a bit, but we just ran it, so we'll do something else. Can you run the B&O engine I just saw? I don't know which one that is. If I see one around where we just were, I'll try to run it for you there. B&O. Yeah, I'm not seeing it off the top of my head. What do you mean? Okay, I don't think that's a comment for someone else. It's gray, blue, and black. You were one away from it. Gray, blue, and black. There we go, now it's holding on. No, it's not. Oh, this one. Yeah, I don't know if this thing is gonna actually start. Try though. Yeah, looks like we've got another super chat. Let's have a look at that. Christian K 2008. Hey SMT, do you have any bugs in your basement? I have centipedes in mine, which is one of the reasons I don't go down as often. Plus, run an underrated loco. Well, this is kind of an underrated one, I suppose. Yeah, years ago, especially when I was a kid, it used to be a bigger problem. But other than ants, there's not usually too many other kinds down here, which is fine by me. You see the odd spider, but I don't really care about those much, as long as they're minding their own business. So I kind of doubt this thing is, well, it's kind of hanging on. You might do it, but his old band drive's just, yeah, that one's not happening. Oh, Christian K 2008. I didn't read this previous one. Have you gotten anyone to make the Nerf Cat Express? I have not got on that yet. SMT a little too much. North American Trains, welcome. Do you have any Japanese locos? I don't think I do. Can you run an F unit? It can be any of them. Sure. I don't know what would be a good pairing with that engine. I'm gonna run this one because it's new and it doesn't have a coupler though. That'll work. Do you have any BC rail locomotives in your roster? I have one. It's not very good though. I mean, I can run it. I love running it because it's so shady, but not a great representation of BC rail in my opinion. Okay, if this one stays connected, we'll keep running these cars, but if not, I think we're gonna pick something else because it's getting a little over the top. I will donate more if I could SMT, but my mom is probably gonna be mad at me for. Well, yeah, thank you for the super chats, but obviously no pressure for those. This is working well. Can we see the layout disaster? hang around long enough and one of those will happen. Be our steamer. Yeah, sorry I haven't been on live streams much. Hey. Sorry I haven't been on live streams much. I've been busy with stuff in real life. That's yeah, don't worry about it. Kind of in the same boat. I've not been putting up videos as much as I'd want to either. So people have a life outside the hobby. Nothing wrong with that. SMT, can you please run the GO train with some Via Rail coaches? Yeah, sure, we can do that. Yellow Bonnet Productions, welcome. Can you run the $3 engine? Yeah, we can run the $3 engine. I'm gonna get these cars off the main line. Auto Model Railfan, any progress on the boat or Hershey factory? Not on Hershey. I did get the boat running better, and I took the boat out a few days. It was on Friday, and went blasting around the river. Oh, that was fun. 2 strokes, right? And yeah, then we hauled it in, which nothing went wrong. I was half expecting the engine to blow, but it never did. It was running fine. It was even good at the low speed, so the compression, I guess, was just doing a little bit better. And overall, it was a great time. And something with sound. Oh, we got a lot of requests at the moment. I'm going to get that on. There was something else I was supposed to run, which I'm going to try not to forget. Okay, I remember what it was. It was the GO train with the VIA cars. So we'll haul out the GO train, and then I was also requested to run the bullet nose on that. So we're just going to do them all at the same time. But we'll start with the $3 engine, because it's not so compatible with the other options. Now, I did service this a few weeks ago, and it was running for a $3 engine. I mean, heck, that's not bad right there. It is a 3-pole. You can't expect it to do too good, but yeah. And it's even doing a better top speed. And I think this is running better than ever. Best $3 I've ever spent. Is the Via Rail LRC a recent model? I think they rolled them out in 2011. They've been re-released, I think, though, so they're not that old. The one I got, I bought it. It's funny. Me and my dad ordered it in 2015. We ordered it in 2011. Forgot we ordered it, and then in 2015 we received a call from the hobby shop saying, "Yeah, your order came in." And we're like, "What?" We're like, "Yeah, you placed an order for an LRC." And we're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." So, okay, there was a comment I wanted to read. I don't know where it went. It might be gone. Oh, wait, I think this is it. Stephanie Mays is probably not pronouncing your name right. I apologize. Anyway, hi SMT. How was your evening? Can you run your favorite locomotive? Can you run your favorite engine? I don't know what I should pick. I've got a few favorites, kind of. But, yeah, my evening's good. How's yours? Have you ever watched Saturday Night Live? Yeah, I've watched SNL before. Do you have any trains from New York or of any kind? Got some New York Central stuff. Somebody wanted me to run the GO engine with the VIA cars. Run a train with a smoke unit. I don't have one with a, well, I don't even have any smoke fluid. Hello from Indiana. Can you please run the Indiana locomotive? Yeah. There we go. This interior, gonna replace the British coupling with Katie on the INER engine. I don't know. Could, but these also have that kind of coupling, so I might not want to. SMT, I was wondering if I can run a MTH H10 on easy command. I'm not sure because I was gonna pick one up, but I was just wondering. Thanks. I don't see why it wouldn't work on an easy command system. If you're talking about the original easy command system, it will. I'm sure it will work. It might have limited functions because most MTH engines have a lot of different, if you're picking up a sound one, a lot of different features. You might not be able to access them all just because the easy command's kind of limited, but if all you want to do is run it and do basic things, I'm sure it'd work okay. What does VIA stand for? I can't remember. I know what LRC stands for, though. Light, Rapid, Comfortable, or as my grandfather, who used to be high up in Transport Canada, called them, Light, Rapid, Crappy. Okay. We're now going to run the bullet nose. We're going to try to run it on that layout. Let's say this is kind of risky because this is obviously an engine that I quite like. This layout is a little shady in places, so but I think it will be all right. I'm not gonna go shooting around this layout at top speed though, but we'll see. These Mahano engines are pretty good at navigating tight track, but this is some pretty next level stuff, so I'm not sure if this may push it past its limits. It's already not reacting very well. Whoop. Bumping my chair here. Has it already come off the track? Oh my goodness. Well, Tender's riding on one side, but I mean, it's doing it. Made it through those terrible old switches. Well, all it's got to do now is make it back around and I mean, this is a bit over the top. It's leaning on, you know, half of its wheels to get around corners, and it stayed on once. That's not bad. I got to give the people at Mahano credit. They did a great job building these engines. I mean, I know it did derail, but with this track work is terrible. It's got so many different, you know, irregularities that's pretty impressive that a steam engine this size can handle it. If you put a Bachmann engine, my Bachmann engines of the same size won't even handle these curves, which don't have any wacky curves. I mean, they're 22 radius, which is way wider than the 18s on that layout, and they're not going uphill at an angle. So, yeah, Mahano, great work. These engines never cease to amaze me. I'm so impressed. So there we go. Apparently it does. Hello from Brand in Manitoba. Hey SMT, could you run a Penline GG1? Pen GG1. I don't have a Penline GG1. SMT, do you have the BR class E2 Loco? I've got this one. I don't think it's BR class though. SMT roller coasters are technically trains, so if you like roller coasters, you're a rail fan. Roller coasters are fun. Run your favorite Tyco locomotive. Sure. I don't even know what that would be exactly, but we'll find one that's cool. I'll run an old Canadian. I haven't got one of those out in a while. Yeah, it should work. SMT, I'm ordering an HO scale model train. It's a Norfolk and Western 280G1 locomotive number 6. Nice. All right, here we go. Here's some Tyco power, torque power. This one Doesn't seem to run too bad, actually. Nathan Delay, welcome. Oh, wow, this is running really well. Look how much throttle I'm letting off, and it's not even slowing down. Heck, as far as Tycos go, I mean, I only paid like 15 bucks for this thing. That's pretty good. Can you run the Wakefield train? Yeah. Can you run the massive Canadiana locomotive? Sure, we haven't run that one in a while. Well, I'm actually kind of impressed. For an old Tyco Power Torque, that actually is not doing too bad. SMT, can you please run all of your... the New Haven units. I want to get those going again, but the couplers are all messed up. Just get my chair here. I need the extra support for setting up an engine this big. Can you please run the TGV? Yeah, we'll run that. I'm gonna get this thing going first, though. Let it stretch its legs. It hasn't been out in a while, so I don't even know how it's gonna run. I was thinking about this engine the other day. What a wacko idea. I mean, I'm so happy I decided to go and build this, but odd circumstances. Hey Harrison, could you run a GG1 with an SP Alco Daylight? How much is freight cars? Can probably run one or the other, but I feel like a combination might be kind of complicated. What is going on here? Oh, that's so shady. Well, I guess trains can drift. Wow. So back in that goes. I think we're going to run the TGV because that's a fun one to get going. I think I'm going to install some lights in the TGV at some point too. Give it a little bit more life. You do a double header. Hey, SMT, what brand is the big Canadiana? It's a it's an Athens blue box, a really old one. I don't even know if it counts as blue box. It might be, I don't know. I think it's just really early blue box. Okay. I'm just gonna check because I think I pushed the cars around, and so I'll make sure they're not. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see some 3-pole action right here. Don't forget the Wakefield training cars. Yeah, sure, we can get that going. I'm looking for a Canadian engine. Can you show me one of yours? A Canadian steam engine. Yeah. Got this one from Mahano, this one from Mahano. This one from Mahano. Basically what I'm saying, there's a fine variety of Canadian steam engines, and if you want to take a, if you want to buy one relatively cheap, buy an old Mahano one. Those are good. Let's see what comments are here. Jack Chick, what are you doing? Driving the TGV around. How are you? You should take apart the Varney engine on this live stream. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll save it for another time. We're gonna do some high-speed rail fanning right here. Yeah, this isn't really close enough to the track for my taste. Yeah, not enough of a illusion of speed, I don't think. But I know where we can get that. Yeah, darn it, camera's on the other side. That doesn't really have the right effect in my opinion. Everywhere I want to film it, it's because it's going the wrong way. Is the Polish engine repaired yet? I don't think I've repaired either of them. I should. That would be fun. Hey SMT, you know the shelf with the Kool-Aid trains? Okay, that shelf right under it. I saw an interesting train very far right. What happened to that DMD locomotive that ironically smoked? Okay, so train with the Kool-Aid engine on it. Well, the Kool-Aid engine's right there. I don't feel like we're talking about this, though. EMD. I don't know. We got a few kind of bizarre ones here. These are both old Varney die-cast engines. This one smoked because there was stuff caught between the little plates on the commutator, and it was actually burning the commutator. This one doesn't run, unfortunately, because it's just a dummy engine, but that's the story with both of those. If that's what you're referring to. What brand is the TGV? I like it a lot. It's a Mahano engine. Can buy them off eBay UK, or not eBay, sorry, Amazon UK. For I don't know. I got this one shipping in total. I think it was 170 Canadian dollars, and Canadian dollars are worth 30% of what American dollars are worth. So just calculate about $170 and deduct 30% of that, and I guess you've got your total with shipping included too. I don't know what we should run right now. Please run the Hornby LNR and Bachmann branch line freight. We'll run this one again, sure. BN Brett, welcome. Who is the one person? Okay. SMT. Big boy, please. We've already run the big boy. We can run it again, though. Can you run a CN? Sure. Quite like this thing. Wakefield training cars. Yeah, we'll get that. Run this, the big boy, and then we'll follow it up with that. Oh my goodness, this thing can jump. Wow. That's a fast engine. Well, that's cool. Next up, the big boy. Are you in Quebec? Yes, I am. There's a bit of evidence of that. Thoughts on CN potentially selling all trackage in Ottawa? Well, I mean, if it's between that and CN destroying their trackage, I'd rather they sell it, and at least there's some chance of saving it. But overall, I'm not very happy if they're trying to sell it, because if you, who's gonna buy it really? It's probably the only buyer is gonna be the city of Ottawa. I don't really like the city of Ottawa's management of railways. They they illegally destroyed the connection between I believe it was the Trillium Line and the Prince of Wales Bridge, which connects the two provinces together. So there was that, and their management of the O train has been a disaster. There've been a lot of rail projects that the city of Ottawa has been involved with, and I find they usually botch them pretty bad. So I don't know. I mean, again, I'd rather they buy Walkley Yards instead of destroying Walkley Yards, but they're not my first pick to take management of railways. I'd much prefer a private organization of some kind taking it. Hey SMT, have a nice day. Hope your cat is well and your family is doing well during these harsh times with the COVID. P.S. My name is pronounced as self on men a s. Okay, I'll try to pronounce that right. I'm not great with names. I'm a bit dyslexic. Hey SMT, Lifelike is a great brand, but Bachmann trains can creep. When a lifelike engine on a track that can't move. Well, it depends on what Bachmann engine you're comparing to a lifelike engine. I mean, yeah, if you put a modern Bachmann engine up against a lifelike Kadar drive, the Bachmann's gonna beat it hands down. It's a better engine, but two Bachmann Kadars, maybe the Bachmann Kadar would beat it because it's got nickel silver wheels, and more of those wheels conduct power. But generally, I find the lifelikes perform about the same. And if you want to compare I guess, first generation Bachmann to a second generation lifelike, even though the Bachmanns were actually built better at the time, they haven't lasted longer. Their motors have burned out a lot. The shells have zinc pest, which destroys the engine, and there was some other problem. Can't remember what the third issue with those were, but there was one other thing that those were notorious for. Anyway, I think we're going to run the Wakefield train now. Trains are way better than school. Well, they're certainly more exciting. To get the Wakefield train off, I'm just going to put my camera down so I can pick the unit up properly. Okay, that looks good. I don't know what's going on with my buildings here. Now, I guess we'll go get those cars. Yes, MT, I have a fictional railroad, the Chessie Central, which would have been the Chessie Systems merged with Penn Central. It has its own logo and paint scheme. It's fun to make the logos. That's cool. Time for some HCW running. Oh, yeah. SMT, what's your next engine for a different country color scheme? Huh, I don't know. Okay, that looks good. SMT, where do you buy your track? I buy most of it at my local hobby shop, Hobby House. I find for buying things like track, it actually is usually cheaper to buy it from hobby shops than online. Funny enough. SMT, did you ever want to work for CN as an engineer? I've thought about working, not particularly for C-Rail, but for a railroad. I'm not entirely sure about it. I feel like if I were to work for a railroad, I think I'd want to work for a short line, something that doesn't go terribly far. The idea of just being all over the place and being away from home all the time, away from friends and family, is really just not something too interesting to me, so. But short line, just operating local, you're not going to be going too far. Yeah, that sounds. I think train driver, that would be a fun job. I'm sure it could be sometimes. It's probably a pain in the neck at times, but I'm sure when you're out on the main line there, just cruising along, I'm sure it could be an enjoyable job. Have you ever went to Trains and Lanes? I have not been there, no. What are you planning on being in the future, in future years? I have no idea, honestly. Really don't know. Hey, SMT, how did you start the hobby of model trains? I've liked trains my entire life, very well because of growing up with this live tourist railway in the area, which my grandfather used to live near, so I used to see this train quite a lot. But the thing that got me specifically into model trains was my dad. He had a model train set when he was a kid, and one night we were going over to my grandparents' house, and he told me, before we headed over, he's like, I'm going to show you all my train stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And it was amazing. We went over there. They had to dig for it. It was buried. It was under a staircase. There was all these bins in front of it. And finally, they got to this really long, thin bin. They hauled it out. It was all dusty on top. They yanked off the top, and they're wrapped up every single piece of equipment he had. And he, one at a time, unwrapped every single piece of rolling stock, locomotive, etc. Showed them all to me. At the very end of that day, he let me take one of his locomotives back home, and that ended up being a lifelike F unit. And then that was about the end of 2006. I asked for a train set for Christmas, and almost 15 years later, this is what I've got. Matthias Trains and Explorations. Spy SMT, my comments aren't being read. I don't know if YouTube's back up to organizing comments again, but I promise to anybody out there, if your comments are being missed, I never intentionally ignore people. I won't read a comment if somebody types something obviously like inappropriate, but just know I'm not ever selecting people in the chat and ignoring their comments. That wouldn't be cool. SMT, if you could work for any model train company, what would it be? Probably Rapido. I feel like that would be a fun company to work for. They're just, I like what they do. I find the people that are running the company, I think they're genuine train buffs. So, I don't know, that's fun. I think they're actually passionate. And the thing about Rapido, they're innovative and they make really odd stuff. There's a lot of models that no other manufacturer will touch because they're too kind of obscure. Rapido just jumps right in and makes them, so something to admire about that. They do a good job too. I don't know, any Rapido product I've ever owned, I've been impressed, especially from a detail standpoint. They pay so much attention to detail, it's unreal. SMT, do you agree that model trains are a very expensive hobby? Absolutely, especially today, things are very expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, if you know how to run things on a budget, you can get by running a pretty decent layout moderately cheap. But yeah, generally it's not a cheap hobby. It's not like there really are a lot of cheap hobbies these days, though. I don't know. I've got other hobbies, and I can't say I go to stores like, I don't know. Casually, I horseback ride, and I've been at the places that sell that stuff. You go and you look at the prices on things like that, and it's like, whoa, guess my hobby's not so expensive after all when you compare it to this. There are tons of other hobbies. Biking, oh my goodness, you go into a bike store, yeah, you want to buy some gloves, those are going to cost you $50. So, it's expensive, but when you look around, maybe things are not that bad. Or everything is just overpriced these days. One or the other. SMT, how do you know if a train works? Place it on the track, give it some power, see what happens. If you've got, if it doesn't move at all, nothing powers up, you don't hear any humming, no light, then you know the engine's not getting power. If you put it on the track, the light lights up, the engine isn't going, it's not humming, then what you know is that the motor, it's getting power, but there's a problem between the motor and the wheels. If you put an engine on the track and you've got a light and the motor's humming but the engine's not going, you know it's seized, and that's why it's not going. So yeah, that's SMT's basic engine diagnosing map. I don't know what you should call it. SMT, please run an RS3. Oh, sure. I think this is one of those. We'll just put it on with the others. Has anyone once upon a snowman? What? Snowman. I like this one story. I can't remember where this was from, but somewhere in the States, these people built this giant snowman outside their house. Some jerk decided to try to destroy it with their truck, and they rammed it. What they didn't know is that they had built this giant snowman over a rotten old tree stump. So the jerk who tried to take out the tree on their yard ended up crashing into the stump, and it didn't take it out. I think that story, and there's this other story that was just great. Another story about somebody deciding to be a jerk. It was somebody who was going around town, and they had chains tied to their truck, and they were tying the chains around mailboxes and yanking them up, and just to mess with people's days. And this one day it happened to this guy, so he decided he was gonna get some revenge. So what he did was he got a square piece of steel, and he cemented it in the ground, and then he put a regular mailbox on top, and then he put some 1/4-inch pieces of wood around the steel, and then he packed the center of the steel with cement as well. So the thing weighed a ton, but on the outside it just looked like a nice little wooden mailbox. So the guy comes up, and predictably, he unties the chains. Instead, he yanked out the back of the truck. Yeah, justice has been served. Yeah, there are two types of people in this world. There are the ones who have their mailbox yanked out by some jerk, and they just go and do the same thing. And then you've got the other variety who say, oh, I take this as a challenge, and I know exactly how I'm going to deal with this situation. Can you please run the Australia locomotive? Yeah, you can do that. Hey, SMT, can you please run a little freight train with a switcher? Yeah. We'll run the Australian engine first, though. First, we have to get the Wakefield train off the main line. Bye, SMT. Have a good night. How I Met Your Mother is on. Have a nice evening. Let's get this one slowly reversing. Get around to the switch before it reaches it. Nathan Dealey, where do you get your inspiration to make layouts? It's mostly, well, it's a whole variety of things. Mostly seeing other people's layouts. You kind of get little ideas. Yeah, it's pretty much all other people's ideas. You're watching YouTube, you see somebody's layout, there's something you like about it, and you take that and you change it up. Or you're reading a model railroader magazine and you see something you like and you can take that too. You just pick up bits and pieces everywhere you go, and then eventually you end up something you like. I mean, this it's all really kind of spontaneous, but I love how all of this kind of works. I designed this layout myself when I was like 12, or actually no, it was 2012. I was 11 when I designed all this. I can't say I have any regrets on how it turned out. All right, that should work. Plexiglass. Brody Nolan, how are you? I'm well, how are you? Love your layout, buddy, but I think you should up to a bigger layout with all the trains you got. I don't know. I've already taken over quite a bit of real estate down here. I think I've kind of reached the limit. And of course, I could theoretically remodel this, but I kind of like it as is. SMT, can you please run the police locomotive because somebody keeps spamming for it? Sure. So we'll get the Australian engine going and the switcher and police engine as well. What's this program too? I should remember this. 6071. All right. Oh. Nice. Ah, man, I forgot to change that switch. Rookie mistake. Smallest loco. Yeah, I mean, I guess the little, the pen line could pull this. It's probably strong enough. Okay, let's try this again. SMT, are you gonna stream the Canadian Pacific Lights this year? Canadian Pacific. Well, if you're talking about the Canadian Pacific Holiday train, unfortunately, I won't be able to because they're not running it this year because of COVID and all the other stuff. So, yeah, that one's not gonna happen, unfortunately. I'm thinking about building some sort of maybe a parody of it though. Do something fun around the holidays. Isla's trains. Bye, Sensu. I don't want to ignore anybody. Number one, yeah, guys, no politics on here, please. I got a desk. I have my collection nearly every generation of Nintendo console and a TV. Wow, good for you. What's the oldest model train through all of them? It's either the 51 Rivarossi or the other Varney. I don't know how old that one is, though. I have 40 productions. I just hit 100 subscribers this morning. Congratulations! Fleets Trains, how are you? Welcome. Limey, what do your parents think about your accomplishments on YouTube with SMT Mainline? They're very supportive of it. I mean, they're obviously this channel really wasn't meant to get to a side, get to what size it is today, but I'm very happy and thankful that it did. What do your... Okay, I've already read that comment. The other day I saw someone had a yard sign with dogs 2020, humans have failed. Oh man. How many British engines do you own? I think about 5 of them. Not too many run though. SMT Mainline, what's your ASMR channel? Well, I'm not telling anybody about my ASMR channel. I don't want my careers to collide. SMT, what has this chat become in the last 30 minutes? I don't know. I have a model train that's 51 years old. 51. What year would that be? I don't know. SMT, do you play Minecraft? Oh yeah. Not as much as I once did, but there might be something between this channel and a server happening in the not so distant future. Also, I tried to recreate Forest Fair Village Mall from Cincinnati, Ohio in Minecraft. I'd say it's about 60% done, so maybe that will go on there. I don't know. Somebody wanted me to run that police engine. I'll see if I can dig that out. Here the rascal is. Do you play Roblox? Never have. Did I hear something about a server? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be hush-hush about that, but cat's out of the bag now. 51 years, 1969. Oh. Fleets Trains, I remember when SMT was at 3K subs. Yeah, 3K days. That would have been probably about this time last year, actually. Oh. Ottawa. Yeah, something coming soon for the people that join the Discord server. That's the spirit, Ottawa. SMT, what's your cat's favorite train? I don't know. I tried to build him a train. I haven't uploaded this video, but I tried to build a train for Nerf Cat, and I thought he was going to like it. It was loaded up with cat biscuits and everything. I thought, oh, gee, he's going to think this is great. He was terrified of it. He didn't even want to go near it. SMT, do you make any money from YouTube? Yeah, I mean, AdSense and Super Chats. You should get Nature Scale Polar Express and review it for nice content, Christmas style. That would be fun, although I was looking on eBay. Those things are going for, the engine and 2 cars, they're going for like $400, which seems like an awful lot of money, so I don't know. SMT, don't forget my switcher. I haven't yet. How many trains do you have? I would guess about 300 units. SMT, why don't you like giving out your ASMR channel? Also, does anybody know about it and as their subscribers? There's no ASMR channel. That's just that's a joke. There should be one though. I feel like I could do some great. I feel like I could do some really obscure ASMR. Like I could tie a microphone kind of like to the wheel well of my car, and I could go find a gravel road and drive around on it. And get that nice kind of gravel crunching sound, and it could maybe be that for like an hour. I feel like a lot of people would really love that kind of crisp gravel crunching sound. And in the winter, I could maybe do another kind where it'd be like driving on fresh snow, and it would just be like this shh kind of sound for an hour. I don't know. I think there could be a very good. I think there could be a very bright future for SMT ASMR. Do you have any Halloween plans for HO Scale? Not in particular. It would be fun, though. Make an ASMR channel. Is there a difference between a locomotive and train? Yeah, I mean, I often refer to locomotives as trains and trains as... Well, I don't really refer to trains as locomotives, but a locomotive is just the unit that powers the whole thing. A train is a locomotive, cars, and in some cases a caboose. So really, you shouldn't call a locomotive a train, but I don't know. I do it all the time, and I think many other people do. Can you run your Norfolk Southern switcher? Well, I think we'll try to run the Penline one, but I don't see why we can't afterwards. Train World has the Polar Express for around $110. Okay, price is about right. Maybe I'll try to order one. Although last time I tried to order something from Train World, they wanted to charge me $40 shipping, which I wasn't too gung-ho about, so I don't know. Plus, that would be 110 American dollars, which at the current exchange rate would be about, let's see, it would be about $20 on every 50, so that would be about, well, it'd be a bit more than that. I'm going to screw this math up in my head, but I think it would be about $160, roughly. Not including shipping. What was I gonna do? Penline switcher. Can you run one of each of your Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe locomotives? I don't think I can run all of them. Can run one if you have it in particular. Okay, so here we go. What a dandy little engine. I did the math and it is about 145 in K. Okay, it's not as high as I thought. Oh, that. Okay, the Penline switcher has gotten off work quickly, so we're gonna send it back. Directional lighting on this engine. This thing cost me $5. What a value. Holy baby Jesus, that guy can... This thing is not even the fastest little 040 I own. I should get the other one, the Rock Island one, out, because that thing might be the fastest engine I own. I don't think I've seen one that fast before. I really like this engine, though. This little die-cast stuff. I'm gonna hunt for more weird engines, I think. On Halloween, I'm going to be dressing up like Michael Myers. Wow, it coupled up too. Fancy. I'm dressing up like SMT mainline. It has that you put on a polo and you walk around saying, "Well, folks, in today's video." Anyway, we're now gonna put on the Rock Island line. Because the Rock Island line, it's a mighty good road, but if you ride it, you've got to ride it like you find it. Get yourself a ticket at the station for the Rock Island line. Okay, get ready to go through time. This probably the closest thing I have in HO scale to breaking the sound barrier. I don't know how fast. Is it going 88 miles per hour? Probably close. Somebody wanted me to run the little Norfolk Southern switcher. I don't know where that is right now, but I'm going to try to find it. Yeah. Actually, it's probably still over there somewhere. All the Rock Island switcher needs is a flux capacitor. Exactly. Then it really could go through time. Nope. Well, I guess it's gone. Is that Rock Island band-driven also have a Lionel Athens switcher that looks like that band-driven? It's not. It actually is a geared engine. I don't know what kind of gear ratio they put on it, but it's got a 5-pole motor too, which is surprising. You'd think that it would a 3-pole would be faster, and maybe in that case it would be, but for a 5-pole, it's pretty quick on its heels. Yeah, I don't know where that Norfolk Southern switcher went, so I'm gonna have to run something else. Boeing 737 number 800. You remember? Yeah, I do. Welcome. Harrison, I know there's a lot of requests, but can you run the Ohio Central F9? Yeah. You should have a train race track. That'd be fun. Hey, Harrison. I am so sorry I've missed the past live streams. My Frenchman work has finally caught up to me. What have I missed? It's pretty much the same as usual, just running some trains down here. By the way, I still have to get around on restoring your trains. I haven't forgot, but I will do it at some point. This thing can probably go relatively fast. Oh, it's pretty efficient too, not bad. Racing trains would be so satisfying, you'd never run out of content. Yeah, it would be fun. SMT, if you put one of your trains on eBay, I'll buy it for $500. Well, it better be a pretty nice train then, because $500 is not cheap for most of most of my stuff is definitely not that expensive. Well, folks, in today's video, we're gonna restore this burnt to a crisp locomotive. I've been looking on eBay. I want a real challenge, not something that's trashed beyond repair that you have to buy parts for, but just something, maybe something that was like involved in a flood or something, you know, something that's really kind of messed up that I really have to dismantle and take apart. I mean, I'm kind of hoping that those engines I ordered off eBay, if they turn up, those will hopefully be like that, because they're like 1950s era and they all look to be in terrible condition. But yeah, looking to gear up a little bit with the restorations / repairs. Want to buy more like those. Multi-track drifting is the best thing that happened to model railroads. Can you run the F40 like the Amtrak? That's okay. Working on moving my super detailed to my garage's layout is set to the Atchison Topeka Santa Fe in 1952, and I was supposed to get it in his, but we're moving to Texas. He's having to move to Texas, sorry. Bachman Busters. That's what I should call the series that focuses on trying to fix the old Bachmans with the cracked gears. Fitting time for Halloween. That's a video I could make soon for Halloween. Building the Addams Family house. I forgot about that. Well, folks, in today's video is a wheel with a pile of parts. Yes, just a wheel of a locomotive. If my railroad's going to be anything, it's going to be the Norfolk and Western Railway. SMT, did you ever get into Legos? I loved Lego as a kid. William Mariano, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. SMT, me and my dog are watching this before we go to sleep. She says woof woof. That's nice. SMT should start an MC survival series. I'm dressing up as the Addams Family. My family did that one year. I dressed up as Pugsley. Can you have a modern Amtrak with a steam locomotive and Amtrak double heading? I don't know, too, that would be very compatible. SMT, if you read this, are you able to make a team lifelike locomotive? I don't know what a team lifelike locomotive is. I kind of just thought all lifelikes were, but yeah, maybe. I wonder if I could dual motor a lifelike. Actually, no, that wouldn't work because there would be no way for it to pick up power. SMT, can you search up this YouTuber? His name is Foxcraft. He's a Minecraft YouTuber who has detailed... Can you run a spooky locomotive like a Penn Central because they're dead now like ghosts? Well, I was sent that kind of wacko looking Penn Central, so maybe I can run that. Yeah. If I can find it. It's like the A team. That's the condition. You have to find it. I don't know where the heck I would have put that engine though. It seems like a weird one to lose. It's also apparently kind of rare. So I better not lose it, otherwise... I wonder if this light works. Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like that engine's also ended up in some obscure place where I'm gonna have to go hunting for it. So yeah, I don't know where the Penn Central's gone. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Spooky locomotive would be a BL2 because those things are scary. Yeah, those are kind of strange looking engines. This one's, oh yeah, this thing looks evil in itself. Hate to see this turn up, whoops. I'd hate to see this thing turn up outside my house in the night. This is what you wouldn't want to see in your neighborhood. Da-na-na-na. Just slowly, just creeping around, you know. the side streets. It's going slow. Slow things are scary. This thing runs pretty well, you know. I only paid $1 for this thing. This is kind of spooky though. Yeah, especially here. Right, I need to get the really spooky scene here. Oh wait, here I need to get the spooky factor up a bit here. So we're gonna shut that off, and that too. And then we'll have I think yeah, that's enough light. Oh wait, I know I can make this at least 10 times creepier. Yes, there we go. So you're outside at night by the railroad, and it doesn't seem like anything's coming, but then all of a sudden you hear some sound, and all of a sudden something really horrifying comes out. I'd be terrified if I saw that in person. Anyway, I think that's enough spooks for this live stream. That's better. You'd be a great narrator. Yeah, when I'd stop to say and then, I'm sure people would love it. It's the jaws of trains. SMT, have you ever seen a ghost? I don't know. Sure seems like it sometimes. Back to civilization. Put some googly eyes on the inside of the shark nose. I'm not sure if that would make it way more creepy or kind of funny. Either way, I can't say it's a bad idea. SMT, that locomotive isn't scary, it's just ugly. Oh. That shows up in your neighborhood, you know, the Jaws theme, and then you scream. SMT, I meant like your undecorated lifelike engine. You can make that into the ultimate team lifelike unit. Oh yeah, this thing. This is a really strange. I always wanted one like this. I don't know why, but yeah. Probably because it looks a bit like the engine from Runaway Train. SMT, unless you mean it's so ugly it's scary, the BL2 isn't scary. I don't know. I find the BL2 does have a bit of a creepy look to it in a way. How about a Hershey consist? Yeah, let's do that. You should look out for British diesel locomotives next time you go to a model shop. My one of my local hobby shops, what's it called? Hobby Center. I'm pretty sure they had a couple British engines, but they didn't look very good, and they were trying to sell them for $40, which to me seemed like a bit of a ripoff. So, I don't know. If they get any good ones, and they're selling them at a reasonable price, I'll probably buy them. I think a bigger fan of British steam engines, though, over British diesels, except the Deltic. And the... Was it the HST? What does HST mean in Ontario? Something honorable service tax. We'll go with that. But you know, in the UK, they got those ones that the diesel electric high-speed trains there. If I saw that loco in my neighborhood, I would do an unstoppable and shoot at it. Yeah, this engine doesn't sound very good. Might need some oil. The Deltic and HST have funny horns. Yes, they do. I might get one of those strange trying F units next time each train show comes near me. I see at least 100 of the things last year. Yeah, they're not hard to come by at train shows. They're really weird looking, but it's kind of why I wanted one. SMT, buy a model airplane, put on rails and attach a motor, see if it will fly. Yeah. My local freight railroad, East Penn, supplies the Hershey factory. Oh. SMT, have you heard of Sam's Trains? I've been watching Sam's Trains for years. Pretty good channel. Can't wait for the train show in my area. I'm going to be there for hours. I miss train shows. I haven't been to a train show in a long time now. Don't know when those are going to be coming back around here, but when they do, I want to save up. Go there with probably, like, I don't know, $250 in cash. And just have a grand old time. But, yeah. Used to, especially the OVAR flea market. Oh, that used to be such a time. Just go around there. All my train buddies are there, and we're just going around stands and finding all sorts of weird engines. And there'd be at least one person doing just a flash sale of junked engines, like the guys from the Smith Falls Railway Society there, and they were selling they had an entire table of engines, and every single engine, it didn't matter what it was going for $5. Oh, heck, that was a good day. That's how I got that little 040. When I saw that thing there, it was just standing out, and I was like, yeah, I'll take this one, please. I bought a whole bunch of other little engines like this one, which it's okay, but yeah, $5 for this little devil. Wow. Sure miss the train shows. Hey there, SMT, how's it going? The shirt with your logo on it arrived. All I have to do is mail it to you now. Just checking there's nothing else you want 3D printed. Do you want a Hershey bar? Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much for that, though. One time I got an RC helicopter with a missing controller, so I took it out to the park, connected the battery to the leads of a motor, expecting it to hover, but it took off and flew away. Hey, SMT, did you know that there's more cars on rails than trains on roads? Yeah, interesting fact, but I'd believe it. I want to drink maple syrup so badly now. I mean, it's probably not great for you, but oh my goodness, having a shot of maple syrup, oh, tasty stuff. The best thing to do, what? I'm losing my mind here. Is to mimic boiled syrup water when they're doing the syrup boil, and you add water to some maple syrup. You stir it up, and then you put it in the microwave. You let it cool off a bit. And you've got yourself a nice warm maple syrup beverage. That can be good. And of course, even if you're not living in a cold place, you can still make maple taffy. I learned this from a friend. You take some maple syrup, you put it in your well, first of all, you get a bowl, you put some water in it, you let that freeze in your freezer for a while, you get nice pans, you have a nice flat surface there. And then once you're done that, you put some syrup in a bowl and you microwave it for a short amount of time just so it boils. You dump it over the ice and you get maple taffy. I don't think there's anything better. Oh, you're supposed to get like a popsicle stick and roll it up. Great Canadian treat. Have you heard of the mysterious train in 2017 that was pulling a caboose? I don't know. No, Harrison, you have it all wrong. Where I'm from, you take some shots of A1 steak sauce. A1 steak sauce, I haven't heard of that. And, I don't know. Here we have President's Choice gourmet barbecue sauce. That stuff's good. Thoughts on Charger locomotives? I don't really know a whole lot about them from performance and reliability, but I don't like the ones Amtrak decided to buy for the Amtrak Surferliner. I think those are very ugly engines. They look like they're unfinished. I don't know what they were thinking. The ones Via's buying, though, and the ones that are on Brightline's lines, fine-looking engines. I think they did a good job with those, and they're probably way more efficient than the P42s. So I guess they're not bad. A1 is the most American thing to put on meat. Heck, if I would, I'd put it on cereal and Pop-Tarts. Maybe that's what that stuff. I was over at a barbecue when I was in Maine, and they're handing this sauce around and saying it was really good. And it seemed like some decent sauce, but maybe that's what it was. Wow. I don't really know what to run next. Run Milwaukee Road. What if I have anything other than the Hiawatha that is Milwaukee Road? Yeah, not that I can think of. Favorite American paint scheme? If you don't know what it's called, describe it. I don't like whatever paint scheme they were using in the 1990s. Here, in fact, I think the engine that I have, I'm pretty sure, has that paint scheme. Where did I put this one? You know, I promise this is a coincidence, but it does look a little similar. That's a little sus. Is Harrison American inside? As a matter of fact, I am, thanks to my dad going there and getting born in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've got some American blood. That's a snazzy looking paint scheme. I agree. SMT, which Canada is the best Canada? P.S. It's French Canada. I think you're referencing South Park, but yeah, I like French Canada. It's fun. Have you seen the Pepsi Can Amtrak Dash 8? That is a pretty cool paint scheme, actually. I don't know when they did that, but I'll say it looks straight out of 1995. Maybe earlier 90s, I don't know. SMT, have you ever considered purchasing a Bachman Thomas? Not a whole lot. Tacos or hot dogs? Hot dogs. Do you watch Simpsons? Yeah, Simpsons is good. Do you watch The Office? Yeah, The Office is a great show. I mean, oh, here we've got some things here too. Yeah. And I would light this up, but that's the electric sign. Which makes the best HO scale? Hornby, Bachmann, or Model Power? Out of those three, I think I'd have to be Team Model Power. Have you ever been? I've never been to Niagara Falls, no. Do you listen to AC/DC? Well, I mean, yeah, going out on a boat, I'm gonna have to blast something so that the other Lakers know I'm there. Do you have a 282 you could run? Also, the maple syrup comment you made earlier is the most Canadian sentence I've ever heard. Maybe I have one of those. Like, I can't think of what it would be off the top of my head, though. SMT, why don't you run the PC switched locomotive? PC switched? I don't know which one that is. What are the dimensions of your train layout? You know, I'll say this. I wrote them down at one point somewhere. I think I forgot them. Speaking of model power, can you run them? If I can find a model power, I'll put it on. One of these is way more junked than the other. I can't remember which is which, so we're just gonna take a guess and hope it starts. Oh no. Flying coupler change. That engine's not running well. I think I picked the wrong one. You know, either this is one I bought really cheap a while back, or it's one that I got for free from a guy who was giving away some trains in the area. Either way, I don't even know when the oil was last changed on this engine, so maybe I should stop running it, because it could have bad grease in it. Yeah, that much current draw. I'm gonna smoke this motor if I keep going like that. Yeah, I think that's good. I've already toasted the motor yet. Doesn't seem to be burning, but seems. All right, I don't know how many people are still gonna be here because we were obviously offline for a fair amount of time there. I do apologize for that. My phone a while back gave me a low power warning, but I thought it had said 20%. Turned out it had actually said 10%, and for probably about the last 20 minutes, it's been probably running very close to nothing. Anyway, it finally kicked out, and all you guys know the rest. So anyway, we're back. I might have to end the stream pretty soon, because it is starting to get late, but I just wanted to join back on and explain things. I didn't want to end the live stream that abruptly. Low power mode. Yeah. Have you seen the Rocky films? I haven't seen the Rocky films. SMT, what is people saying egg? I don't know what all this egg stuff is. I mean, Halloween is coming up, so I don't know if people are talking about, egging things. Egged a house before and got in trouble. Oh, no. Rest in peace, SMT livestream 2009 to 2020. Why did it start in 2009? Do you build or paint trains or just resurrect them? I built kits before and I have painted some trains before. I'm better at resurrecting them, I would say, but I'll do the other stuff for fun. Harrison, I'd just like to thank you for making these vids, making my day so much better. Thank you for making life better. That means a lot, Hagen. I really appreciate that. I think this is an excellent stream. Haha. Okay, you know what? I've had enough of people advertising this channel. There we go. Timeout. SMT, this is getting really weird. I don't know what's going on. What happened? Yeah, for the people that left and joined back in, my phone ran out of battery. I do apologize. Where's your DD40X? It is there. Every time something bad happens, I will spell Serenity backwards. That's kind of funny, though. What do you prefer, FedEx or UPS? Oh, I'm Team FedEx. UPS has been a real pain in the neck for me. I don't know what it is, but I find I have way more border issues with them. I don't know if it's how they operate and stuff, and I'm genuinely concerned about what they're doing to my rep, because they keep sending me bills for stuff, but I don't know how the hell to pay it, because their website, you go to one section, it brings you to another one, and then you go to another, and it says something about like the page no longer working. So now they've sent me several bills which I haven't paid. That's gonna probably end up stripping my credit. And I want to pay them, obviously, but every time I try, I've mailed them checks and all sorts of stuff. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I do not like UPS though. Oh God, not UPS, Harrison. Tell them the story. Yeah, so Hagen wanted to ship me some engines to repair, and he sends them off, and then they message him back saying you have to pay a $20 fee to get them across the border. So he tries to pay it. It doesn't work. UPS says that the person who is receiving the item has to pay the bill. So anyway, Hagen tells me about this, so I go and I try to pay the bill. So I put in all the tracking confirmation and whatnot, brings me to the right section. But when I try to pay it, it doesn't work because the address is not the same. The billing address doesn't match the address the item is coming from. So I try to change it. It won't let me do that. So we conclude it's going to head back, and then eventually the item does show up through some miracle, but thanks to their genius website, I still haven't paid that. So yeah, I don't know. I've gotta watch it with that. What do you prefer, Morgs or Mr. Beast? I prefer Mr. Beast by quite a bit. Morgs is kind of, I'm not a Morgs fan. His content is so ridiculous, but I don't know. There's some things that's just so ridiculous, you know, it's not even, it's just like, this is such a joke. SMT, have you seen Blue's Clues? Yeah, I liked that show as a kid. The miracle being my great uncle is the senior VP at Southwest Division of UPS. Morgs can't even be counted as content. I don't know. I mean, Morgs is not my favorite content creator, but if you want to compare Morgs to, like, let's say Jake Paul or Logan Paul, I'd pick Morgs over them. It's like vaguely more moral, in my opinion. ASMT, I will pay you my family's money if you destroy the Wakefield train off the table. Yeah, that's nice. Works cannot be trusted. Probably not. Who's worse, Rice Gum or Logan Paul? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. They're both pretty much involved in a lot of the same sort of scandals, but I don't really know. I don't think I can choose between the two of them, frankly. What's with the blue and white flag? It is a Quebec flag. iDubbbz or Mr. Beast? I don't know. If I do find iDubbbz has made some interesting content over the years, and he's definitely done a fine job at stripping down some really not so great YouTubers, but I think I prefer Mr. Beast. It's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit less of the edgy stuff and more about just doing things that are kind of over the top. So I kind of prefer that. Love Montreal. Montreal's fun. The Nintendo Wii or the PlayStation 3, it's kind of hard to compare them. They're so different. Leafy's band, yeah. Mr. Beast is the best clickbaiter. I don't know. I mean, most of what he says, like most of what the title and thumbnail are, maybe look more exciting than the actual video, but it's not like you've been tricked. I find it usually is pretty accurate to the content of the video. And I'm not to bash YouTubers, but Roman Atwood, oh my goodness, he clickbaits so much stuff. I mean, I remember actually being like angry when I was like 12 or something, because he titled a video, "My Yard Caught Fire," and it's a picture of like him running from the smoke, and it turned out he bought like a smoke machine, and it's like, there wasn't ever a fire. You lied. Like, that's not even true. That's an oof. Harrison, are there any lifelike engines you can coordinate? Well, I don't know. Maybe I could like hook up to a couple second-gen lifelikes, but I don't know. The whole coupler situation's not so great on most of my lifelikes. Can you run a diesel freight? Well, we'll run one more locomotive. First diesel they get requested, I'll run it. This is probably the longest live stream. I think I've done longer ones. Put on a CN locomotive, the Berkshire. Oh, I know what engine I want to run. Oh no. Wah. My new $10 baby doesn't want to go. At least I think that I paid $20 for that thing. Oh. Well, I'm just gonna have to dig out the other brilliant lifelike engine I have. Do you like the Big Bang Theory? I don't know, frankly. Better shows that, you know what I do like those, when people, they take shows that have a lot of laugh tracks and they edit out the laugh track, the show becomes really awkward. That's super entertaining. Hollows out the whole show. They did it with Seinfeld, though. Seinfeld was still pretty good, but the show went from being a very lighthearted comedy to a pretty kind of serious show, which was weird. That was an interesting experience. Okay, coupler's not working so well. There we go. Ever heard of the Red Green Show? The Red Green Show is a fantastic show. My grandparents introduced me to that years ago, and I've been hooked on it ever since. I think the Christmas turkey one, though, that's probably got to be the highlight of the show. I always love it, too, and in all of his videos. Like, he was making one about how to get better gas mileage, and his idea was you strap some fans to the wheel of your car, and it will lift your car up, which will reduce the weight. And And he was talking about how you could buy some fans to strap to your car cheap, and he's like, you can buy them real cheap at the house of a tall guy who has some bandages around his head. Susie Channel, welcome. How are you? Setup looks amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Setup looks... Oh, boy. Fortunately, not every part of the setup is perfect. Damn it. Okay, you know what? I don't need the chair for the rest of the evening. I'll fix it later. Chair runs about as good as most of my equipment does, apparently. I'm going to run one more diesel, so whatever's requested. First request I see for a high hood. Do I have any of those that work? Centennial. Illinois Central. Dream Loco. Well, I mean, I'll try to find a... Oh, yeah, maybe this will count. Yeah, let's go with that. Red Green in the soundproof van. That was pretty funny, too. I don't know. I don't really think there were any bad skits. They were all great. My favorite part of the show, too, though, was the... what was it called there? Oh, it was... I can't believe I can't remember the character's name. He's the guy, and he's got glasses. Bill. Yeah, I think his name is Bill. Adventures with Bill. That was the segment of the show, and in it, Bill would be up to something, and it was always black and white, and Red Green would be the narrator. And there was this one where they were trying to do some gardening, and they pick this piece of land, and they start tilling up the dirt, and then they discover they're over the Trans-Canada pipeline, and they accidentally poke some holes in it and start a fire, and they're trying all these things to get the fire out, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Oh my, that had me rolling on the floor back the first time I saw it. And the other skit that's great too is the one where one of them buys a desk, and there isn't enough room in the van, so he gets in the back and he's rolling around. I don't know. I can't describe these skits as well. Just search up Red Green Show Adventures with Bill on YouTube, or just the Red Green Show. The show's great as well, and you'll be very entertained for hours. Great way to get your mind off of issues. Family Matters. I don't know a lot about Family Matters, but the intro is something that seems to be referenced in some modern pop culture. Where's the turbo train? I don't have one of those. The world may never know what. You know nothing of Steve Urkel. We're talking about the referencing College Humor's video where they have... Oh, maybe that's what that is about. I don't know. College Humor did a thing about Google Maps, and they referenced the show in it. It was good. Do you have the Polar Express? Yeah, looking to get one if I can find it cheap. Did you see Rapido is bringing back some of the Canadian cars? No, that's great, though. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish off the live stream. It's been a good one. I want to thank everybody so much for stopping by. I'll read off some of these last comments. Have you seen the College Humor cell phone reunion? Yeah, I remember that. Good joke for the time. I love their first person videos too. Those were always entertaining. They had a lot of funny stuff back in the day. Precious Plum, that was a hilarious series. Oh my god. When did the Acela fall off the layout? Driver, did I do that? Do you think Leafy deserved to be banned for criticizing a bad person? My opinion on Leafy getting banned, I don't think he should have got banned for that. I mean, he did some, like, you know, the whole stuff about, like, him picking on youngsters, not good. But, I don't know, him fooling around, you know, like, kind of making fun of another YouTuber is kind of just as shady. I don't know. To me, that seems, I don't know. Well, it wasn't terribly controversial in my opinion. I don't know. It seemed pretty satire-like to me, so I don't know. I didn't think it was necessary. Anyway, I'm going to finish off the live stream. I watch the original all the time. Oh, people are typing all this stuff about arms popping off. Weird. Anyway, have a great night, everyone. Oh, have you ever watched Futurama? Yeah, I saw that one. Anyway, have a great night, everyone.